already? Yes. There you go. Excellent. Okay. Peace, family. Welcome, welcome everybody to today's Sunday study session. Hope everyone's doing well. Glad to have you guys in the space. You know what I mean? Always enjoy these study sessions. They're always good fun. They're always interesting. I always learn something new. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to today. Today, we're going to be discussing candlesticks. We're going to take in a bit more of an in-depth look. I'm actually going to be 50% freestyling it. I don't like to freestyle, but what I wanted to do today was I wanted to take a look. I wanted to go on a bit of a treasure hunt, basically. I wanted to look for certain candlesticks, and I haven't found them already. I haven't looked in advance. I haven't prepared. I haven't found them and said, this is where they are. So we're going to pick a random currency pair, and we're going to try and find some candlesticks. That's what I want to go for today, right? So first things first, what we're going to do is, I think for the first half an hour, we're going to discuss the fundamentals of candlesticks. For those of you who, this is your first session, first Sunday study session, or for those of you who are brand new, this is your first time in the company, or for those of you who are watching the video and this is your first time, it's your first video you've watched, you know what I mean? We're going to discuss the basics and the fundamentals of candlesticks. And then for the second half an hour, we're going to go on a little treasure hunt and see if we can find some, right? I haven't looked in advance. I haven't discussed, I haven't found them. In fact, I'm going to get you guys to choose a currency pair for me. And then we're just going to see what we can see, right? So that's basically the plan. So wish me luck. Okay. Okay, first then, before we start, let me introduce myself. Who am I and what am I doing here? My name is Nate, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. I'm hoping it's there and not there, and I'm just pointing in there, probably up there or something, I don't know. But my name is Nate. I am a poet. I run events. What I do for a living is I run events. And obviously during COVID, there were no events. So that kind of hit me pretty hard. Thanks to Justin, who introduced me into this space. Really, really helpful, really helped me to kind of stay afloat, stay alive, so definitely grateful for that. But even so, investing, trading is not easy. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy. I've been here since September, and I have not made millions and millions and millions. For a short while, I was basically juggling enough to pay for my subscription. And then even that kind of started fizzling out, in and out, in and out. It's kind of hit and miss, So what I decided to do was I decided to study as regularly as I could. Do you know what I mean? I kind of may have a little bit more time than some of you guys who might have children or might have 9-to-5s that you have to go to. Me, I spent a lot of my time just watching videos on WoW, watching videos anywhere I could, plugging into the sessions. And when I first started, even though I was watching the videos on WoW, I found that they were, as great as they were, I found it quite difficult to really relate to a lot of them, until I did a one-off study session with Carl, who my G really put me on, helped me a lot, helped me to no end, honestly. Give thanks for Carl. Is Carl in the building yet? Did he come through yet? Let's see if Carl's in here. No, not yet. But shout out Carl anyway, regardless, you know what I mean? Carl definitely helped me out, man. It's thanks to Carl that I'm here today, honestly, as well as Justin, So I had this training session with Carl, and he taught me so much in that 1 hour. And it just helped me to see that when you hear this information from a peer, it can sometimes be very different from hearing it from like a qualified trader on WoW, yeah? However, all I will ever do in these sessions is the fundamentals, is the basics. That's all I'm ever gonna do, do you know what I mean? Because really and truly, these sessions are here to inspire you, to encourage you, this week to go and study on WoW. This week, go and study on WoW. And then come back next Sunday and I'll inspire you again. Do you know what I mean? But every week, the intention is to inspire you guys to go and study. Yeah, so if I can kind of give you guys some basics, some fundamentals, we're not discussing strategies, we're not discussing, techniques or anything like that. What we're doing is we're talking about the basics. And that's what I want you guys to kind of really get a handle on. And that way, anyone that's new, anyone that's just joined the company can get benefit from that. The same way that I got benefit from it when I was new in the company. So that's my intention. That's who I am. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm sure, as I said, that you guys will find value in today's Sunday study session. So first things first then, we're going to be talking about candlesticks. So what is a candlestick? Let me share my screen because it's definitely going to be easier if you guys can see this. Also, these sessions are very interactive, by the way, so feel free to, also let me get my notes section up as always. And
Okay, give it a sec. I think he's just logged up.
oh, sorry guys, did I get booted out? What happened there? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Justin,
yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Oh, sorry guys, I have no idea what happened. Like literally, I just got booted out. Okay, yeah, make me host again. Thank you, bro. Right, let me share my screen again. Apologies for that, everyone. No idea why that happened. The video is paused during mobile screen sharing. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, cool. And this one as well, please. Yeah, we've got a new one. Okay, fantastic. All right, so what is a candlestick? Well, to start off with, price moves, to start off with, what we're looking at here are currency pairs. So for example, let's look at GBP USD, which is the third one down right here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is £1 is worth how many US dollars? We can see £1 is worth $1.37, right? But down to the pipette, this one's called a pipette. We do a study session, sorry, on pips and risk management. That's a really important one. I would strongly recommend you guys check that one out as well. But yeah, so down to the pipette, you can see it's not £1 is not necessarily $1.37. It's actually 1.37455 currently, or 478, depending on whether you're looking at the low or the high. Yeah. But roundabout, £1 is roundabout $1.37. Okay, so how do we measure, or how is that price visualized? How do we see that? Well, if you have a look, you can see the chart, right? Should I turn it sideways? Would that work? Yeah, that works better for me. If you're looking at this, you can see that there's a price chart. So we can see on the right-hand side, 1.37458 is where price is currently. If we zoom in, there's actually two numbers, one with a blue line, one with a red line. Those are the two numbers that we looked at earlier, okay? So we can see that price is around about this 1.37 area. £1 is worth $1.37 and some change. Okay, is that making sense to everybody?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Clean. Okay, nice and simple. Yeah, it doesn't need to be too complicated. That's what £1 is. £1 is $1.37. Cool. Currently. Now, obviously, if the price £1 goes up any higher, then £1 will be worth, or as you can see in the past, it has been, £1 was worth $1.41. Yeah, or it can go higher and £1 could be worth $2, or it could go lower and £1 could be worth $1.20. Yeah, £1 could be worth $1.20, but right now £1 is worth $1.37. That's where we are at this exact moment in time. Now, as price is moving up and down, this is showing to us, as you can see on this chart, but this chart is made up of, even though right now it looks like a squiggly line, it's actually made up of very small candlesticks, which you can only really see once you zoom in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. So this chart is actually made up of candlesticks. Now, each of these candlesticks tell us 5 pieces of information. The candlesticks are broken down into 2 colors, black and white. So black means that price has gone down and white means that price has gone up. Okay, so this black candle here, for example, right, tells us that price started at the top and finished at the bottom. Yeah, so price has gone down. So that's actually immediately 3 pieces of information that we have straight off the bat. Yeah. 1 is that price has gone down. 2 is that price started at the top at 1.38475 or whatever that is. Yeah. 3, that price finished at the bottom at 1.38120. So during this particular session, whilst this candlestick was being formed, price has moved from 1.3847 to 1.3812, yeah, which is about 30 odd pips, roughly, give or take. Now, that is 3 bits of information that we get from one candle, yeah. Price has moved from 1.3847 or 1.3850, give or take, to 1.3810, give or take, yeah. So brilliant. That's good information for us, yeah. What about the other 2 pieces of information? Because what I said was that each candle gives us 5 pieces of information. Who's come to a Sunday study session before and thinks they know what the other 2 pieces of information are? Anyone want to give it a shot? Or should I just go for it? No? 3, 2. Okay, say no more. All right, got a couple newbies there. The other 2 pieces of information that each candle gives us are the wicks here, these wicks, this wick at the bottom, this wick at the top, this wick at the bottom, this wick at the top, yeah? These wicks also give us additional information. What they tell us is that during the session, while the candlestick was being formed, price went this low and it came this high, right? So price started at the top, it finished at the bottom, but during that session, while it was doing that, it went this low and it went this high. Now, in order to really fully understand that, you guys are going to have to understand time frames. Okay, so if you look at this on the left-hand side, you can see we've got M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, D1, W1, and MN. What does that mean? Well, those are the different time frames that we're looking at. So what this is telling us is that each candlestick represents the time frame that you select. So right now, we are looking at, if you look on the top left, H4. Right now, we're looking at H4. So if you look there, you see H4 on the left, underneath H1 and above D1. Yeah, you see H4. We have selected H4, and that is the chart that we're looking at. If we swap and press D1, then you notice at the top left, it now says GBP USD D1. So what do these mean? Well, MN means monthly. So what that means is that each candlestick represents a period of 1 month. W1 means weekly. So each candlestick represents a period of 1 week. D1 means daily. So each candlestick represents a period of 1 day. So just to put that in context, I like to show people the monthly chart because it makes it easier to understand. So if you look at this section here, hold on, not that one. If you look at this section here, in between this dotted line and this dotted line here. Now, first things first, we are looking at the monthly chart. Yeah, we're looking at the monthly chart. So that means that each candle represents 1 month. So this will be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, which is 2020. Yeah, fantastic. And then we move on to the next year, and we can see January, February, March, April, May, June, and where we currently are, July, which is almost over. We're past the halfway mark of July. Does that make sense to everyone? Is everyone understanding the time frames that the candlesticks represent?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so with regards to the 5 pieces of information then, what this is telling us, let's look at March 2020, which is one of my favorites to show people because, you know, it's obviously the beginning of the plantonic whatever, yeah? So we can see that, okay, boom, price started here at the top, price finished here at the bottom. That is what happened during the month of March. That is what happened during the month of March. When this candle opened, it opened right here. This was the beginning of the month of March. When the month of March had finished, yeah, and we finished March and we're about to enter April, the candle finished at the bottom. That was the end of the month. However, during the period of that month, price went up this high and price came down this low. Price went up that high and it went down that low. Yeah, so 5 pieces of information. We started here, we went up this high, we came down this low, and then we've pulled all the way back, and this is where we finished. Ultimately, we went down. Is that making sense to everybody? Is everyone understanding the 5 pieces of information that each candlestick tells us?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Does anyone have any questions about what those 5 pieces of information are? Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. We love to see it. That means that I've done my job. Yeah, that's it. I can go home now. Brilliant. Okay, so each candlestick tells us 5 pieces of information. Oh, okay, so with a black candle, price has started at the top and it's finished at the bottom. But what about with a white candle? With a white candle, price has gone up. So price has started at the bottom and has finished at the top. Yeah, that's all that that's saying. So what you should notice is that if price started at the top and finished at the bottom, and then we moved on to the next candle, price has started at the bottom, finished at the top. Then we move on to the next candle, started at the top, finished at the bottom. And where one candle ends, the next candle begins. That is how price should be generally moving. The only time that that won't happen is if there's maybe like a bit of a gap in the market, which does happen from time to time due to circumstances that we're not going to talk about today, right? But ultimately, where one candle finishes, the next candle begins, okay? And once that candle has begun, boom, this is where it starts. It now needs to decide, am I going to go up or am I going to go down? What is it that causes the price to go up or price to go down? Well, there are various determining factors that affect the value of a currency, right? There are various factors. One of those factors is the economy of the country that you are studying. So in this instance, GBP USD. So if the pound gets stronger, then price will go up. Yeah, £1 is currently worth $1.37. But if the pound were to get much stronger, then £1 will be worth $1.75. See it up there at the top. Yeah, if the pound gets stronger, then the pound is going to go up. If the pound gets weaker, then the pound is going to go down. Yeah, because £1 is now worth $1.12 because the pound has got weaker. Conversely, because this is a currency pair, the dollar, you can't forget the dollar. If the dollar gets stronger, yeah, right now, £1 is worth $1.37. But if the dollar gets stronger, then £1 is going to be worth $1.12 because the value of the dollar is going to drive this chart down. If the dollar gets weaker, let's say £1 never changes its value and it just remains at the exact same value, but the dollar gets weaker, yeah, then now £1 is worth $1.60, yeah, because the dollar has gotten weaker. So the value of the economy of the country that you're trading is one of the things that affects the movement of this chart, okay? Another thing that affects the movement of this chart is something called market structure. We do have a Sunday study session on the subject of market structure. We try to go on like rotation of like 4 or 5 basic subjects, you know, so market structure is one of those basic subjects. So keep coming to the Sunday study sessions and we'll definitely cover market structure again. But if you like, you know, I think Justin's posted the link in the chat, do you know what I mean? And I'm sure it's in the Telegram group as well. But you know, you can find it. Just ask us afterwards, and you've got links to all of the videos where we've already covered market structure. I think I've probably got at least 2 or 3 videos on market structure up there by now, surely. But every single video that I do is different because, you know, I'm not reading from a script, yeah? So every time I mention something slightly different. And also every week I'm learning something slightly new, you know, so I'm kind of adding to my knowledge, which is why these Sunday study sessions are so helpful for me. So market structure, anyway, before I start rambling, because I'll do it, I'll just talk. If you don't stop me, yeah? So market structure is one of the things that determines, that affects the movement of the chart, okay? What else affects the movement of the chart? Well, ultimately, it's buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers, yeah. So if, for example, you've got, when I say buyers and sellers, you've got people like you and I, who my little £1 trade is not really going to change the market by any, noticeable margin. However, if thousands and thousands and thousands of us all press buy at the same time, then we might make a dent, right? But more so, you want to be thinking about the banks as well, the institutional traders. I used to work in a kitchen. I used to work in catering in Canary Wharf in the Barclays building on the 18th, 19th, and 20th floor of the Barclays building. And we used to cater to the stockbrokers. And I had to wake up stupid o'clock in the morning so that I could make breakfast for them. I'm in the kitchen by 6 o'clock, cleaning, tidying up, cracking 1,000 eggs for these guys. But I don't know if you've ever seen Wolf of Wall Street. That is exactly what it is like. They're standing up, they're shouting at each other, they're shouting down the phone. There's, numbers flashing all over screens everywhere. At the time, I had no idea. I wish that I knew then what I know now, because boy, I would have quit my job in a heartbeat and jumped in with them lot. I would have been like, guys, it's me, I'm here, I'm one of you. But institutional traders and the way that they trade, they have a lot of money, yeah, and they taxpayers' money actually, and they're able to kind of play with that money and invest it and move the market, right? The banks, Barclays, like I said, this was the Barclays building, yeah, and obviously they, not just Barclays, HSBC, Lloyds, whoever, yeah, they are investing, and banks in other countries as well. It's not just the UK. They're all investing in the value of their own currencies, other currencies, and other things as well. But investors, buyers and sellers, are one of the things that make the market move. Well, how does that work? Well, for example, let's say that price is being driven down currently. Price is on its way down. The value of the pound is falling. Yeah, the pound is getting worth less and less and less. And then suddenly, a buyer or a large spender or a couple of large spenders come in and start investing in the value of the pound. Yeah, they say, I think the pound is about to get more valuable, maybe because of something that's happened in the news. The news is another thing. Well, the news is kind of linked to the economy of the country, as I mentioned earlier. But let's say, for example, a couple of the banks, loads of people, market structure also stipulates, everyone is saying, okay, I think now price is about to go up, right? So everyone starts to buy. Yeah, everyone invests, everyone jumps in the market and says, I think price is going to go up, and they press buy on their MetaTrader 4 app or TradingView or whatever system they use. They press buy and they invest money in the pound. Well, if you invest money in the pound, then the value of the pound will increase, unless there is more people short in the market than buying, unless there's more money pushing it down than driving it up. Yeah, if there's more money driving it down, then you will lose your money and the market will continue downwards, and you were wrong, right? But if they come in and they buy, and there's enough of us who jump in and buy, then the market will react to that, and the value of the pound will start to increase. Yeah, is that making sense to everybody? Does anyone have any questions?
That's making sense. Thanks, Nate.
Making sense, Nat. Thank you.
Making sense. Brilliant. Okay, I'm glad. Good to hear it. Okay, cool. So we know how the market moves, right? But when we're watching the market move, yeah, these price charts that we're looking at are basically historical records of how the market has moved. So if you go to the monthly chart at the bottom and we zoom out, we can scroll back. Now, again, on this particular app, all we can see as far back as December 1999, right? However, I'm sure there is more information out there before December 1999. There's much more information out there, right? And also, this is one chart. This is GBP USD. There's also GBP JPY. There's also USD CHF. There's also, there's tons and tons of currencies out there. And all of them, the value is constantly fluctuating. People are constantly investing. the foreign exchange market is the largest market on the planet. It is the largest movement of money in the world, right? So obviously learning to tap into this is almost like learning to kind of scoop money out of a big ocean of money, right? And the sooner you can, the more you study, the more you stay plugged in, the better off you'll be, the better you'll be at collecting that money when you're able to predict what the market is going to do. Okay, so each candlestick gives us 5 pieces of information about that particular session. So we can see during, let's look at this month just as a point of reference. We can see during this month here, right, price started at the top and it dropped. During this year, in fact, price dropped a lot, right? So if this year, well, actually, no, let me zoom up because I can't even show you what that would look like in real life. So let's stick with what we were looking at. So this month here, okay, we can see that price started at the top, went this high, went this low, finished at the bottom. Ultimately, it's gone down. That's what's happened during March 2020. Right? That's what's happened during March 2020. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the daily chart. So on the left-hand side, it says D1. I'm going to press D1. And now you'll notice that we are now looking at the daily chart. Yeah? And I'm going to zoom out. So each candlestick now represents 1 day. And in between the dotted lines is 1 month. So again, we're going to look at the same month of March 2020 in between this dotted line and this dotted line, right? And we can see that price started here, it went up this high, it came down this low, and it finished here, right? So ultimately, started here, finished here. So we know that price has gone down. This is a black candle on the monthly chart because price started right here at the top and finished right here at the bottom during this monthly session. And also price went up this high. So we've got a little wick on the top and we've got a big wick on the bottom, right? That is 1 candle for the month. But obviously, as we can see here, it's expressed by 20, 30 odd candles because obviously we're looking now at the day by day by day by day. And each one of these candles is giving us the same 5 pieces of information about the session below it. So look, this daily chart is telling us what happened during this day, for example. And if we were to look at the hour chart, where each candlestick is 1 hour, then we would see that this white candle here, we would see that price started at the bottom, it went down a tiny little bit, it's gone up quite a lot, and it's finished up at the top. Yeah, we would see it's, we've got a white candle with a little wick at the bottom and a big wick at the top. Those are the 5 pieces of information that this candle gives us immediately. Okay, now that you guys have got that, has everyone got that? Because we're at the halfway mark. Is that making sense to everyone? Does anyone have any questions about that so far?
Thank you.
Yeah, making a lot of sense.
Yeah, making good sense. Yeah, fantastic. Is there anyone it's not making sense to? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Is there anyone this is not making sense to?
I didn't get it.
Didn't get it, yeah? Okay, all right, no worries. How much of it did you understand? Can you explain what you did understand so far?
To be honest, this candle of 18, I find it difficult to grasp it. I have never been able to grasp it at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Who is I'm speaking to? What was your name? Sorry, because I can't see you on my screen.
I'm Veronica.
Veronica. Okay, sister Veronica. All right. So I'm gonna come back out to the monthly chart, and I want us to look at this monthly one together again. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna look at this 1 candlestick here, and I'm telling you, 1 candlestick tells us 5 pieces of information about the month that it represents. Do you remember me telling you which month this candlestick represents?
Which is it for each month? Like, assuming this July now.
Yeah, the July one is here. That's July right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the one we're looking at today. Today we're looking at this one from back here, the one I've circled in red. Can you see it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So if this is January, February, this one here is March.
March. Okay.
Yeah, you see it at the bottom, March 2020, right? Okay. So this candlestick tells us what happened during the month of March. Yeah. During the month of March 2020. and we can see that each candlestick, this candlestick tells us 5 pieces of information. Can you remember what those 5 pieces of information are, Veronica?
No.
Did you write them down?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna run through them again, but I want you to write them down, okay? Have you got a pen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so first, if the candlestick is black, then it means that price has gone down.
Down, when it is black, yeah?
If the candlestick is white, then it means that price has gone up.
Okay. Black candle, price gone down.
So this candlestick here is black.
Yeah.
So that means it went down, yeah?
Gone down,
okay.
Yeah.
So the next piece of information, I'm going to move this up to the edge so we can see the numbers clearly. See the numbers on the right-hand side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so remember, this is the candlestick we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
So we can see that it started right here and it finished right here because it's gone down. If it's gone down, that means it started at the top and finished at the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and the wick tells us that during that month of March, so it started at the top during the month of March, but first it went up. It went up to the top of the wick during the month of March. It went down to the bottom of the wick during the month of March, and then it finished at the bottom of the candle. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see the 5 pieces of information that this candlestick is telling us?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see which direction it went in. You can see where it started. You can see where it finished. You can see how high it went, and you can see how low it went. Repeat that back for me, Veronica. What are the 5 pieces of information?
Is it the one you marked with red?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the 5 pieces of information? Repeat it back for me.
The one you said is black. Is showing that the price is dropped.
Excellent.
And the candle is white. It shows the increase in the price.
Yeah. But that's one piece of information. What are the other 4 red marks that I've written? What are the 4 red marks that I've just shown you?
How far it has gone before it dropped down.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So we know where it started.
We
know it started here. That's one piece of information. Write that down. We know where price started.
Where the price started.
If it's a white candle, this is where it started at the bottom. If it's a black candle, this is where it started at the top. Okay. We know it started at the top because it went down. We know it started at the bottom because it went up. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So we know where it started. We also know where it finished. We know it finished at the bottom because it went down. We know it finished at the top because it went up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Okay.
And the other 2 are, we know how high it went during the month of March and how low it went during the month of March. So price started here, then it's gone up to the top, then it's come down to the bottom, and then that's where it's finished. Ultimately, it's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are you sure? Do you understand that?
Yeah, how high it went before it dropped and how low it went. It's gone.
Before it came up. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay, fantastic. I feel confident now that you understand that. But if you have more questions, don't be embarrassed. Yeah, feel free to jump in and say your piece. Yes. Okay. And also, if you want, send me a message on Telegram and we can talk later on as well. That's fine. Okay, but hopefully you understand that now. Do you feel like more confident?
Thank you. Yeah.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome, sister. Okay, cool. All right. So each candlestick tells a story. Each candlestick tells a story. What were the candlesticks that I wanted to look for? I chose some in advance. Where's my notes? Okay, first thing actually that I want to look for is let's go for a hammer or a hanging man. No, let's go for a hammer. What is a hammer? Okay, so a hammer is, loads of these candlesticks, they have different names, okay? Because each candlestick, the candlesticks are very common. There are some very common candlesticks, okay? And the common candlesticks, they tell us, you know, they give us really good indications of what is going to happen. For example, as I've just shown you, those 5 pieces of information that we get from each candle, they tell us a story about what is happening on the time frame below, and they offer an indication as to what is going to happen on the next candlestick, as to what will happen during the next session, right? Because if price is, let's say we got one session here, and then we got another session here and another session here, right? Now, if price is going up here, what do you think is going to happen on this next session? Well, price is likely to continue up, likely to carry on, right? It is possible that price will drop drastically. You know, it might happen as soon as the next candle starts. But the chances are, if this is going up, then this will continue up. Yeah, if this is going down, then this will continue down. Yeah, and if this is going down, when it finishes, then it should continue down. Yeah, it's not by force, okay? But it gives us an indication that that is what is likely to happen during the next session. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, make a lot of sense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's look at at least this one candlestick, the hammer. So a hammer is a white candlestick, and it looks something like that. Maybe sometimes with a little wick on top. That is what a hammer looks like. It's called that because obviously it looks the same as a hammer. Yeah, it looks the same. That was a horrible hammer, sorry. Because it looks the same as a hammer. Yeah, so that's why it's called a hammer, because that's how it looks, right? What are the 5 pieces of information that a hammer gives us? Let's just map this out. Let's do it in blue. Well, it's a white candle. So someone tell me, did this white candle start here, or did this white candle start here?
The bottom.
The
The
bottom.
second one, yeah,
Bottom.
bottom one.
Bottom.
Excellent. The bottom. Fantastic. Okay. So we know that this candle started at the bottom. Yeah. And then what happened? Well, we can see that price went this low. So what does that tell us about this candle straight off the bat? What's the first thing that you can see? Well, you can see that price started here and it's gone down. So initially it was a black candle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Price started there and then it's gone down to the bottom. So at first it was going down, but then what happened? Well, buyers entered the market and said, no, we are going to force this price to go up. We're going to fight and we're going to win. Yeah, that's what the buyers did. So the buyers entered the market. So price starts here, it goes down to the bottom. But the buyers entered the market and they forced price up. Now, this is what's important about the hammer, okay? Because if the buyers, now let's say the buyers are fighting the sellers, yeah? Imagine this is a battlefield. Imagine this is a war, okay? The buyers are fighting the sellers. The buyers are pushing price up, right? Now, if this candle had, let me just go back to black. If this candle had finished like this, yeah? So what that tells us is, let's go to blue again. We started here, yeah? We came all the way down and the buyers tried and tried, but they failed. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see
excellent. The
that.
buyers, they tried to get price up. They tried, but they were not successful in this illustration here. However, in this illustration, the buyers were successful. Yeah, the buyers were successful. The buyers entered the market and they said, okay, we are going to force this price to go up. And look, price has gone up. And this is where price has finished. The buyers have won this trade. This particular candlestick pattern is called a hammer. And a hammer is very common. It's a very common candlestick. What time is it? Let's see. Okay, let's say we've got enough time to look for the hammer. We're gonna go and look for a hammer. Yeah, we're gonna go because I really wanted to do a treasure hunt today, and we've got time. Yeah. So what does a hammer tell us? Well, if price is going down, yeah, and we see a hammer, then next thing we can expect is price to go up. The next thing we can expect is price to continue up. Yeah, because obviously we now know that the buyers are in the market strong. So if price was going up and then we see a hammer, then I'm sure we can expect price to continue up. Again, like I said, guys, it's not by force. Yeah, we might see a hammer and then price goes down after the hammer. It's possible. However, I would venture enough to say that it's not likely. With my limited experience as a trader, I haven't seen it many times. Most of the times that I see the hammer, you know, the hammer is telling us that price is going to continue. So if you're looking at a chart and you see a candlestick, you see a candlestick, you see and then you see a hammer, now is a good time to buy, because this is an indication that price is going to continue upwards. It's not by force, so you want to manage your risk and set your stop loss in a safe place. Yeah, you want to set your stop loss in a safe place, but at the same time, you should have confidence. Now's a good time to jump into a trade, right? Okay, I need 2 volunteers, please. Hold on, let me choose someone, seeing as nobody's volunteering. Hold on, where's Zoom? There you go. All right, let's go to participants. Okay, can we get Akeem? Akeem, you in the building?
Yes, sir. Akeem here.
Peace, King. Peace, peace, peace. Okay, can you choose one currency, not a currency pair, just one currency, please?
USD, JPY.
Just one, not 2, just one. Either USD or JPY.
USD.
USD. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. Okay, who else? We got Prima. Hey, Prima. Prima, can you choose another currency for me, please? A major one.
Greetings, King. A major one. JPY.
JPY, yeah, cool. Look at that, Akeem, yeah, lovely. The alignment. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna find USD, JPY, USD, JPY, USD, JPY. Oh, where's USD, JPY? Have I gone past it? Someone shout, there we go. Cool, USD, JPY. We're gonna look at the hour 4 chart because I find that that's probably the best one to look for. And I want you guys to tell me if you see a hammer. Okay, I'm gonna be looking with you. Now remember, what we're expecting to see from a hammer is price was going down.
I see a hammer.
Yeah,
I see a hammer too. But look at that. The one that we found is going the wrong way. Can you see what I'm seeing? For those of you who can't see it, let me just make sure I'm looking at the right one. Is this what you guys are looking at?
Yeah.
Yes, I was looking at that one.
No, I wasn't looking at that one. I was looking at
there's another one to the left.
28th of June. Just
28th of June. Is it here?
no, keep going to the left.
To the left.
A bit further, stop. Just stop, go back a bit. This is gonna be fun.
I can't even
Go
see.
back a bit.
I'm not
Is
this
that
here?
the hammer? The white? Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. I guess that could be considered a hammer as well. Yeah. Not bad. Okay, cool.
There's one on the top as well.
I can't. The screen's not moving. Is it frozen?
We've got one here. We've got
Go
one
to
here.
the top. Go to the far
And you're
top.
seeing one at the top?
Yeah, top on the left. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I don't see it.
There's one with the black one.
Oh, a black one is not a hammer.
Can you look at the
hammer
30th
is
of June? 30th of June.
Oh.
30th of June.
up on the right hand side, in
Is it
between.
this one?
Yeah. Those ones are the hammer.
I would say these could be considered hammers.
Could
Yes,
be.
I would say these could be considered hammers. I'd
Yeah,
say they
hammer.
could be considered hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got 1, we've got maybe 2, 3, and then we've got 4.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well spotted, guys. Well spotted. Now, again, this hammer, look what happens next. Price continues upwards. This hammer, price drops down a tiny bit, but then it goes upwards. This hammer, price goes down. Yeah, so it doesn't always work. It's not always by force. Let's keep going and see if we can find a better example of a hammer. Let's see if we can find some more examples.
There. That one there.
Oh,
I don't
there.
see a candle. What not a wick. You know, the 11th,
don't see a
between the
wick.
11th of June.
11th of June.
You got the 11th of June. Can you see that one there? It doesn't have a wick.
There. This one.
Go to the right.
Get it right. You have got about
It's
1,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that one.
Nice one. Yeah, not bad. Yeah,
9th,
not bad.
9th June.
Say again.
9th June, there is one.
9th of June.
Yeah.
The 9th of.
This.
Yeah.
That's not a hammer. That one's not a hammer.
This one
The
on the
white one in
3rd
the
of
middle.
June.
There's little one.
The little one, 9th June, the little one.
That one on 9th June on your right hand side.
On my right hand side. Yeah,
I
this
think
is
that's a
9th
hammer.
of June.
No, on your right hand side, closer to 11th of June, between two white candles.
Is it in between these 2 red lines?
No.
Yeah, in between two white candles.
I'm not seeing it, guys. Sorry.
It's a little black one between 2 white candles.
Okay. That's probably why. If it's a black candle, then it's not a hammer.
No, it's not a black candle. It's 2 white candles.
It's a white one.
It's a white one, yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
so is it this white one?
Yes. Is
Not
that
that
one?
Yeah, that.
Not that one.
Okay, so what we've got here, we've got that, and then the wick is on top. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That is actually called an inverse hammer.
Inverse.
Inverse hammer, yeah.
Okay.
Well done, but not quite, yeah.
Can you look at between 9th and 11th? Between 9th and 11th, up. Between 9th and 11th. No? This way.
Where?
Here, between white candle, 2 white candle, there is little dark hammer in between.
In between 9th and 11th.
Yes, go up. Yeah.
So we're in between 9th and 11th.
Yeah, this is 9th, this is 11th. Then you go up before
this one?
Here, not there. Okay, you can also
left.
see that one. You can also see that one. After that one, down to the left, there's another dark little one.
This little one?
Yes. Yeah, that one.
That's not a hammer.
So what is it?
That is a completely different candle. A hammer is that one, and it must be white.
So then on the 3rd June, there is one as well.
Okay.
Go to top, 3rd June.
3rd of June. Oh, up here. Good spot. Good spot. Yeah. Good spot. Good spot.
That's a
nice. Yeah, correct. That is definitely a hammer. Now, the reason that some of these hammers are not hitting, guys, by the way, just so you know, is because they need to be used. The candlestick confirmation needs to be used in line with market structure. Okay, so like I said to you before, if you see a hammer and price is going up, then it's not a very good indication. It could mean that price carries on up, or as you see, it could mean anything. Yeah. If price is going down and then you see a hammer, it is a good indication that price is going to go up. But as we've clearly seen by some of these, it's not always the case. Yeah, look at this one that we found earlier. This has probably been my favorite one so far, maybe. But look, price is going down and we've got a hammer. And now me personally, I might have entered a trade here. I might have said, hey, let me try it. And I would have lost that trade. I wouldn't have lost much, but that's fine. Yeah, that is what the hammer does. The hammer is an indication that price is going to go up. Because it's at a strong level, you see this level here of resistance has now turned support. As soon as I saw that hammer, I probably would have entered the trade. And I would have lost the trade, don't get twisted. But that is what the hammer does. The hammer is an indication. The hammer is one of many candlestick types. Let's see if you can find one that would have won us some money, because you haven't really found any winning hammers yet. Maybe we should go.
I think
Nate, I think you can try AUD card on 4-hour chart. AUD card. Maybe we can.
You want to try another currency pair? Yeah. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, let's try another. Let's try. You said AUD CAD, yeah.
Yep.
AUD CAD, and I'm sticking with the hour 4 because I like the signals on the hour 4. In fact, no, do you know what? Let's go for the daily because I feel like the signals. Another thing, guys. The signals on the bigger time frames are stronger than the signals on the smaller time frames. Okay, that's worth noticing. That's worth paying attention to. Okay, now what I want us to do in this instance is I want us to look specifically. I don't know if this counts as a hammer. I wouldn't say this counts as a hammer personally.
There's a nice example on the 4-hour chart.
On the far right, did you say?
Yeah.
Whereabouts, sir? In this section here?
No, I think your chart time frame is a daily.
I think you're on the daily.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And you want me to go on the hour 4?
Yes, please. Over there, 16th of June, up there.
June.
Sorry, July 16th. Sorry.
Oh, July
16th. Over
July
there, at the top.
16th at the top.
That's an inverted one, though, isn't it?
Oh no, I think I see the one you're talking about.
Inverse
You're
hammer.
talking about this one here?
Inverse.
No, inverse, the up there.
Are you looking at the inverse hammer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 3
No, I
candles.
don't see an inverse hammer.
You don't
I don't see an inverse hammer. What I see here, this one is called a shooting star.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that one is called a shooting star. So what is a shooting star? Let me show you a shooting star. Hold on. I'm back. Let me show you a shooting star. Hold on. Because there's a couple of these, right? So you've got a hammer, and then you've got an inverse hammer. These candles are white. Yeah, and then you've got a hanging man. Yeah, and then you've got a shooting star. And these candles are black. Yeah, so it's not just because it looks like that it's a hammer. You've got a hammer, you've got a inverse hammer, then you've got a hanging man, and you've got a shooting star. And all of them give us different information. All of them give us different information. Is that helpful to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. So you found a really good example of a shooting star. And again, you know, a shooting star is an indication that price is going to go down. That's what a shooting star is. Shooting star tells us the same story. Price was going up, yeah? And then look, it started at the top. It's gone all the way up here. But the sellers said no, and they drove it all the way down, and the candle finished black with a long wick. It finished as a black candle. That is called a shooting star. That is the story that this candle tells us. Yeah, and when you see that story, it is an indication that price is going to continue down. Now, if you look for that candlestick and you use it in line with market structure, then you should have a decent entry point. Yeah, if you look for that specific candle and use it in line with market structure, then you should have a decent entry point. We've got an inverse hammer here. Oh,
Nate, sorry.
Inverse hammer here. Yeah, go on, bro.
You see with what you're saying about market structure, do you have to wait for that candle to form to see it, or could you?
1000%.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely. Do you know why? Because the candle is not finished forming until it's finished forming. So let's say that it starts off like this. Do you remember we were looking at the candle before? It starts off there, and then at first it's going down. Now let's say you press sell, right? And then it changes and it goes up and it's got a wick. Do you know what I mean? And now you're rattled, you know what I mean? Because you jumped in before the candle had even finished. So what you want is the previous candle should tell you what is going to happen on the next candle or the next two candles, for example.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because what I find myself doing is looking at the candle that's being formed rather than looking at the ones previous. So now it's a change of mindset.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend that you look at the previous candles. Look at the previous candles to get an indication of what is going to come next.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome, bro. No worries.
Thank you. So on the same chart, May 21, can you please explain something there for me? May
Are you
21.
in the hour 4? Hour 4 chart
hour
or the day? Hour 4, yeah.
No, hour 4 chart, yeah.
May
21.
May. Okay, here's May.
21st.
And this is 24th. So May 21 is around about here. Is it this one here you're talking about?
I can't see well. If you can go back small, please. Yeah, is that a hammer?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
I would say this looks like a hammer to me. Does that look like a hammer to everybody?
Yeah.
As in, does it look like a real hammer? Would you bang a nail with that thing there? I would. I wouldn't bang a nail with this. I wouldn't bang a nail with this. I wouldn't bang a nail with this. But this, yes, that looks like a hammer to me.
Hammer, yeah.
This one is a hammer.
Thank you.
Yeah, and this even, kind of. It's not a very good hammer because the wick at the bottom is not very long. So what that tells us is that there wasn't really much of a fight. Do you remember we said before that the buyers have to fight? With this particular example, there's not much of a fight. With this example, there's a big fight and the buyers won the fight. So look what happened next. After the buyers won the fight, price actually went down, but then it went back again because now there's loads of buyers in the market. And we know there's buyers in the market because we have proof. We have an indication. We have an indication that there are loads of buyers in the market. Yeah, we have a strong indication that there are loads of buyers in the market. So even though, of course, there are sellers in the market too, and we know there are sellers in the market. Here we go. We know there are sellers in the market because up until this point, the market has been trending downwards. So we know there are sellers in the market. We know, yeah? And then we see this hammer, which is an indication that there are now loads of buyers in the market who are fighting. There's an indication that there are buyers in the market who are fighting. Why are the buyers fighting at this particular point? Let's zoom out and see if we can see. I don't want to lose it. Okay, no, I can't go back far enough to see, unfortunately. But I'm sure that this is a good level of support. Maybe if we were to look at the moving average, or if we were to use an indicator, it would help us to identify why there are so many buyers in the market at this point when the market's trending down. Surely everyone wants to sell, right? The market's on its way down. Why isn't everyone selling? Why are there people buying right now? What's the reason? Well, there must be a reason. You know, if you look at a bigger time frame, maybe on the 20th of May, you know, if you look at, then it will give you an idea as to why there are buyers in the market. But once you see that there are buyers in the market, if you can confirm, if you can confirm that there are buyers in the market, then look what happens next. Obviously, if you hold it for the week or for a couple of weeks, then you've won a great trade. And remember, guys, remember what I'm saying to you, it's not always the case. It's not always by force. You know, me personally, my stop loss would probably be here. So I would have lost this trade. My stop loss would have been there. It would have hit my stop loss and I'll be sitting there cursing my phone. I've lost the trade. But that doesn't mean that I was wrong. Look, price has gone up. Yeah. So obviously, like I said, I'm not Jeff. I'm not Justin. I'm not a six-figure trader. I'm one of you. Yeah? I'm here studying with you. So that's why I'm showing you this is a hammer. That is what a hammer looks like. And this is what a hammer does. This is how a hammer works. Okay. Has anyone else found any good examples? Oh, look at that. This is a beautiful one. We've got a great hammer here. This is a textbook hammer. This is the one I was looking for. Look at that. Do you know what I mean? This is a textbook hammer. Yeah, price was trending down. We've hit a textbook hammer, and then price goes back up until we reach this level here. And then look at this candle here. What's the story that this candle tells us? Well, look, it's black. Fair enough. It's not a very strong black candle. It's not a very strong black candle, but at the same time, it shows that there are sellers who have now come in the market and pushed it down for another bit of a reversal. Probably the same sellers that were in it from before. Okay, we've got another one here. We've got another one here, but again, that one hasn't really worked out too well. And we could keep going. We could carry on. We could carry on. There's one more candlestick I want to show you guys, and it's only because it's popped up on my screen that I want to show you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even brought it up, but it's popped up on my screen. This one here. This one is called a doji. A doji, right? Now, doji, again, tells us the same story. Can somebody tell me what's the story that a doji tells us?
The market doesn't know what it wants to do.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Who is that? Who was that? Who said that?
That was me, Prima.
Oh, hey, Prima. So I didn't recognize your voice. Thank you, Prima. Exactly. Yes, brilliant. Doji tells us the market is not entirely sure. It suggests that there is indecision in the market. Yeah, so we started here, we went up, we went down, but ultimately we finished where we started. Yeah, the market is not entirely sure what it wants to do. There are 3 different kinds of doji. I'm going to show you them, then I'm going to wrap up because it's gone past 2 o'clock and I want to let everyone get on with their day. There are 3 different kinds of doji. There are 3 different kinds of doji. Firstly is a standard doji. Yeah, which, as I said, market started here, it's gone up, it's gone down, but it hasn't really made any progress. What is going to happen next? Who knows? Then you've got something called a gravestone doji, gravestone, like a tombstone, yeah? And that one looks like this. Maybe with a little bit of a line at the bottom, possibly sometimes, maybe not, right? Same difference. Gravestone doji. Now, gravestone doji is basically the same as a shooting star, I guess. You could say it's the same as a shooting star. Price was going up. It started here at the bottom. It continued to go up. It's hit a level. The sellers have come into the market and they've driven it down. And this is where it's finished. Price is likely to continue downwards after that point, after the gravestone doji, right? That's what a gravestone doji suggests. And the other one is called a dragonfly doji. A dragonfly doji. Yeah, and a dragonfly doji tells us the complete opposite story, right? It tells us, again, if price was going down, in the event that price was going down, it starts here, it goes all the way down to the bottom, it comes all the way back up, and it finishes here. Chances are that it's going to keep this, it's going to keep, let's swap colors because all of that black, hold on. The chances are that it's going to keep this momentum, yeah? And the next candle is going to carry on with this same momentum, yeah? It's going to carry on going upwards. The next candle, or maybe even the next 2 candles, right? So when I say the next candle or the next 2 candles, what that helps us to identify is that if you are looking on the monthly chart, if you're looking at the monthly chart, right, and you see a hammer, yeah, or here, look, right, 2 hammers, right? So if you're looking at the monthly chart and you see a hammer, what that tells us is that, okay, maybe not the entire next candle, but let's look at this one first. Let's look at this one first, yeah? So we've got the hammer, we can see that price is now going up. Look, price has gone up this high during the month, right? So this is 2018. So I'm not going to be able to show you the daily chart, unfortunately, because it's 2018. And MetaTrader 4 doesn't go back that far on the daily chart. It goes back that far on the monthly chart. It maybe even goes back that far on the weekly chart, but I don't think it goes back that far on the daily chart for me to show you the 1st of January 2018 on a day-by-day basis. However, we know that if you entered the market here, then price started here and it went all the way up to the top. So you would have had a small buy that you would have been able to enter. However, as you can see, there were enough sellers in the market to drive it back down immediately afterwards. So maybe, let's just double check. Where was it? Yeah, we're at a level of resistance. This is the section we're looking at, yeah? No, sorry. This is the section we're looking at. Yeah, so you can see that, you know, we are at a level of resistance. Yeah, so even though there is a candle here, a hammer, which is suggesting that price is going to go up, because we're at a level of resistance, we can see that, you know, it might not be wise to place a buy just based on that hammer alone. You understand? You see the hammer, that's good, but at the same time, you need to understand and appreciate market structure. It's not just because you see a hammer that you should enter a trade. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. This is what the hammer does. The hammer indicates that price is going to continue upwards. However, it's not just because you see a hammer that you should jump into the trade. Does that mean, is that abundantly clear to everyone? Because I don't want anyone to see a hammer, jump into a trade, lose money, and then call my phone. I don't want anyone to do that. I want you to understand that the hammer is one form of confluence. And if you're going to enter a trade, you need multiple forms of confluence. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very clear.
Absolutely.
Very clear. Thank you.
Yes, mate.
Cool. But look at this one here, great one, yeah? We see the hammer, price was coming down. We've got, again, this is a textbook hammer as far as I'm concerned, beautiful hammer. And in the whole of the next month, price has flown up, yeah? Now, I wouldn't have expected, after this big white candle, I would not have expected price to go down again afterwards, me personally. I would have been wrong. I would have thought price would have carried on upwards, me personally. You got a hammer, then you got a great candle. This big one is called a great candle. That's the name of this big candle here. And this big candle here. Yeah, they call them great candles. A great candle, actually, no, it's not a great candle. Sorry, my bad. A great candle is 3 times the size of the previous 3 candles, I believe. A bold candle, a great candle, where is it? Where's my notes? I can't find great candle on my notes, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be bigger than the previous 3 candles. So if it's not yet 3 times larger than the last 3 candles. So if it's not 3 times larger than the last 3 candles, then I guess you can't call it a great candle.
Does that matter if it's black or white, Nate?
For the great candle, no, not really, no. You can have a great candle on the way down or a great candle on the way up. So I would probably say this is a great candle because it's 3 times larger than all 3 of these. It's 3 times larger than the big one, the black one. It's 3 times larger than the white one, and it's 3 times larger than the white one. So I would suggest that this is a great candle, and we can expect price to continue downwards, which it does for the next 2 months. Yeah, it's not going to go down forever, but it does carry on downwards. And also, we've got this great candle at this strong level of resistance that we identified earlier, remember, yeah? So, you know, that is confluence now. Now it's not just a great candle, but it's a great candle at a good level. You know, look at this one here. We've got a good candle at a strong level, yeah? So now we can expect price to continue up for the whole month, and look what happens after that big candle. You see it? So it's not just about the candle, but today, the topic for discussion today is candlesticks. If you guys want to know more about market structure, as I said, I definitely recommend checking out the Sunday study sessions. However, as I draw this to a close, there's one more important thing that I really want to show you guys. And it is that obviously, like I said, all I'm ever going to do, guys, in these sessions is I'm going to show you the basics. Yeah, and me, I'm not. If I were earning millions and millions and millions, then I guess I'd feel more confident in being like, yes, this is it, 100%. But I can't tell you that with my chest. I can't do that. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, look at that. Nice, nice. I can't tell you that with my chest, right? Who can? If you go onto WoW, these guys here, they can give you the information. Justin, for example, right? Justin hosts live sessions. His next live session is in 23 hours. So this time tomorrow, you're going to do a study session with Justin if you jump in, if you're able to make it. If you're not able to make it, scroll down to the bottom and there's a recent stream section where Justin is giving he's giving it all away. He's giving it all away, yeah? And this is what we're paying for. You guys are not paying me for this information yet, ha ha ha. You know, you guys are not paying me for this information, yeah? Me, I'm sharing this because I want to help the way that I was helped. Me, like I said, I received this information from one of my peers and it really helped me to understand the basics, right? But if you want to learn the strategies, if you really want to learn, look at this, engulfing candlesticks. We didn't talk about engulfing candlesticks today, but engulfing candlesticks are they're my favorite because I find that engulfing candlesticks are pretty much the most consistent. As you see, the hammer is kind of hit and miss. The engulfing candlestick is hit and hit and hit and maybe miss. But still, do you know what I mean? Not just Justin. Who else? There we go. We got Jeff. It's your boy. And when is Jeff's next live session? Okay, he's not put it on his notes. However,
tonight at 11.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Look at that. Fantastic. At 11. Fantastic. Well done. Yeah, and you've got all of his previous sessions there. You know, show more. There is so much information here, guys. And this is what you're paying for. I'm not trying to sell this to you. This is what you are already paying for. Yeah. So if you're not using this, then you're wasting your money, right? This is what you're paying for. So it's great. Please come to as many Sunday study sessions as you can, right? And pick up the fundamentals, learn the basics. We're going to talk about what is a candlestick. We're going to talk about what is a pip. We're going to talk about what is market structure, but we're only ever going to really rotate around these fundamentals. We're not ever going to talk about oscillators. Yeah, we're not ever going to talk about, well, I shouldn't say never. I should never say never. Do you know what I mean? Who knows where this will go? But I don't intend on talking about Bollinger Bands. I don't know about Bollinger Bands for me to teach someone else. Do you know what I mean? I've watched this particular session, but after 1 hour of studying doesn't mean I can teach you about Ichimoku. Do you know what I mean? So listen to Jeff. Jeff knows what he's talking about. Jeff is there making money. Jeff is there studying. Jeff is there. He's been doing this for years and years and years. Me, I've been trading since September, right? So I'm just showing you guys the basics. I'm showing you guys what I know in the hope that, you know, let me stop sharing my screen, do the eye contact thing. There you go. I'm sharing that with you guys in the hope, do you know what I'm saying, that you guys will be able to walk a little bit quicker in the hope that you guys, some of you people who are just starting, brand new, some of you, this is your first Sunday study session, some of you who have just joined the company, bear in mind at PNT, we do have, you know, we can have quite a high turnover. We do network marketing, yeah? So there's new people every single week. Every week I do this, I'm like, who's new? And someone has come here for the first time, right? So I'm intending on sticking to the fundamentals, sticking to the basics. It helps me stay on top of it. It helps me to stay revising every week. Make sure that I watch the videos as well, so that I'm not wasting my own time and wasting my own money. But guys, that's where the information is. That's where you're going to find it. Okay, so hopefully you've taken some value from today. Last week, we had a really good session about the stop loss and moving your stop loss into profit. Was anyone here last week?
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did anyone move their stop loss into profit and catch some W's?
Yep,
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Woo! We love to see it. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what it's about.
Was that recorded, Nate?
It's
Either
recorded.
way,
Yeah,
it's profit.
It's recorded. That was
Call
last
it-
week. Yeah.
Let's
that's up
call
on
it
YouTube,
that
yeah?
way, it's profit.
On YouTube. Justin's already posted the link in the chat.
Thank
You
you.
having fun, though? Wow. Yeah, there you go. He's posting in the chat again. Yeah, it's in the chat right now. So hit that link and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, subscribe and turn on the notifications. Just in case you ever miss a session, they are all going to be posted on there. Justin's done a really good job of documenting and, you know, and putting them all there. Do you know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys are keeping on top of it. But more importantly than the Sunday study sessions, more importantly, please make sure you're checking out the videos on Wow. Because me, I can only share so much. I can only share what I know. And if I knew as much as Jeff, I'd have as much money as Jeff. If I knew as much as Nathan, I'd have as much money as Nathan. Yeah. So all I can do is share the little that I know in the hope that you guys can pick up speed a little bit quicker than I did. When I first joined the company, I lost bare money and it was really annoying. It was because, you know, I didn't really understand the little things that I'm sharing with you guys now. So this is my way of giving back, of making sure that you guys are hopefully not losing money. That's my intention. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no reason for you to lose money in this space. The only reason you will lose money is if you are not studying. That's it. If you're not studying. Since I've been studying consistently, I am not losing money. I'm not losing money. Do you know what I'm saying? I might not win every trade, but you know, last week I finished on the up. I might not be winning millions and millions. It's because I don't have millions and millions to invest. Do you know what I mean? I'm making money. I'm winning trades. I'm consistent. I'm compounding and I'm growing my account. And watch me. Listen, it's only a matter of time before I'm making the same money as Nathan, before I'm making the same money as Jeff. And then I'll be teaching from a different perspective. But right now, all I want to do is I want to help new people to kind of just pick up the fundamentals in the hope that when I bring new people into the company, you lot will help them the same way I am helping you. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Okay, guys, I've been Nate. Thank you very much for coming through to the Sunday study sessions. I appreciate every single one of you. Before we wrap up, does anybody have any questions, or does anyone have anything that they'd like to ask or they'd like to know, or you know, that wasn't clear? Anyone want to talk about it later? Anything at all?
I think everything's clear, Nate. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Really useful
Brilliant.
session, Nate. Thanks so much. I will be in touch.
Brilliant. Yes, please.
Thank you, Nate. That was really good. That was very informative.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
Nate, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, Nate. All right.
You're welcome, guys. All right, guys, have a good day. Have a prosperous week, man. Have a really profitable week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Same to you, Nate. Same to
protect your
you.
investment, man.
Bless,
All right,
brother.
So much, Nate.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.